My family always said I was a burden, someone to tolerate, not love, but they had no idea. I kept quiet because I knew something they didn't. I had recordings, proof, evidence of the cruel things they did behind closed doors, and the day I exposed them, their entire world collapsed while I finally built mine. My name is Alyssa Parker, and if you ever felt like the unwanted child, the invisible sibling, the emotional punching bag, then you'll understand my story better than anyone else. My family didn't hate me. That would have required emotion. They tolerated me. Like a burden they were forced to carry. The Parker household was the kind of place that looked perfect from the outside. Christmas decorations matching the curtains, family photos in identical frames, fake smiles during holidays. But behind closed doors, it was a different world. A world where I was the target. Growing up, my mother Cynthia told me constantly, "You just drain us, Alyssa. You're too emotional, too sensitive, too much." My father, Greg, didn't speak much. He didn't have to. His silence was approval of everything my mother said. My older sister, Hannah, was the golden child. Perfect grades, perfect hair, perfect smile, and perfect cruelty. She once told me, "You're only here because they didn't believe in abortion back then." I wish I could say she was joking, but she wasn't. If I cried, I was dramatic. If I tried to talk, I was annoying. If I needed help, I was selfish. And the worst part, they only treated me that way when no one else was watching. To the outside world, they were the ideal American family. Warm, loving, supportive. Inside those walls, they were monsters dressed as parents. When I turned 17, I realized something. No one outside my home believed me. Whenever I tried to explain, relatives would say, "Your mom, impossible. She's an angel. Your dad, the calmest man alive. Your sister, sweetest girl ever." They thought I was the problem, so I decided to gather proof. One night after my mom called me a mistake we had to raise, I hit record on my old phone. I captured her telling me she regretted having me, my sister, mocking my weight, my dad ignoring me, crying on the stairs, their screams, insults, threats. The emotional brutality they hid from the world over time. I collected 47 audio recordings, and they had no idea at 19 I escaped. I got a tiny job at a small bookstore, rented a cheap room from an elderly landlady, lived off noodles and discount cereal. But I was free, and with freedom came clarity. I re-listened to those recordings, and each time I did, something inside me hardened. I didn't want revenge, not yet. I wanted healing. I wanted to rebuild myself, so I worked. I studied. I saved money. I cut contact, but the Parker family, they didn't like losing control. For 2 years, I ignored dozens of voicemails from my mother. "Stop embarrassing us by ignoring us. Grow up. You owe us a visit. You're acting like we abused you." That last one, it almost made me laugh. Almost 2 years later, Hannah invited me to her engagement party. Not because she missed me, but because she wanted to show off her perfect life. I wasn't planning to go until I heard my father's voicemail the night before. "Alyssa, don't embarrass us. If anyone asks why you've been gone, keep your mouth shut." That was it. That was the spark. I knew exactly what I needed to do.
When I walked in, all eyes were on me. Not in a good way. My mother whispered loudly, "She looks tired, probably still failing at life." My sister hugged me with that fake warmth that felt like ice. My father didn't even look me in the eyes. And then Hannah made a toast. A cruel one. "Family is everything," she said. "Especially when you're blessed enough to have supportive parents." Everyone clapped. My mother smirked at me. My father nodded proudly. Hannah looked directly at me and added, "Some of us forget that. Some of us create drama and lies for attention." The crowd murmured. People stared at me. That's when I realized. They weren't just cruel. They were rewriting the story, making me the villain. And I wasn't going to let them. I stood up. Confident.ready. "Actually," I said, "since we're celebrating family, I want to play something." I connected my phone to the speakers. My mother's smile vanished. Hannah's face stiffened. My father whispered, "Alyssa, don't." But I pressed play, and the room went silent. Recording number 12. Mom telling me I was an embarrassing mistake. Recording number 26. Hannah mocking my body. Recording number 41. Dad telling me I'd never succeed at anything. People froze. Chairs creaked. Guests stared. Someone gasped loudly. Hannah turned pale. My mother covered her mouth. My father slammed his drink down. But I wasn't done. I played the worst one. Recording number 47. My mother screaming that I was a burden she wished she'd never had, while my father agreed. When it ended, you could hear the air itself shaking. And then I said, "You always said I was lying. Now everyone can hear the truth." My mother whispered, "You evil girl," but nobody believed her anymore. Within days, Hannah's fiancé broke off the engagement. If she treats her sister like that, imagine her as a wife. My parents' church removed them from volunteer positions. Their neighbors spread the recordings. My mother lost her friend group. My father's co-workers started avoiding him. Relatives called me to apologize. Their perfect image. Gone, destroyed, ashes. And I didn't lift a single lie. I didn't exaggerate anything. I simply revealed what they worked so hard to hide. The truth did the rest. A month later, my mother tried calling me. Not with anger. With desperation. "Alyssa, we're suffering. You ruined everything." I blocked her mid-sentence. And for the first time in my life, I felt peace. Real deep, unshakable peace. I wasn't their burden. I wasn't their mistake. I wasn't their victim. I was their mirror. And they hated what they saw. People always say, revenge is bad. But sometimes, revenge is nothing more than the truth finally being heard. They treated me like a burden. I showed the world who the real burden was. And I never looked back.